I'm telling you, every time I convince myself that I'm gonna start eating less meat, another YouTuber opens up a restaurant. That's it. That's my intro. Hi, I'm Amanda, you're watching Swell Entertainment, and today I am trying Jonah's Kabob so you don't have to. So as a lot of you know, I have covered a lot of YouTuber pop-up burger places, restaurants, ghost kitchens, I guess you could say. I've previously reviewed Mr. Beast Burger, and I more recently reviewed Gay Burger from Elijah Daniel, both of which, aside from the, I believe, initial location of the Mr. Beast Burger and Mr. Beast's video about Mr. Beast Burger, or Beast Burger, it's not Mr. Beast Burger, it's just Beast Burger. But aside from that initial location, that initial video, both of those were mostly quote-unquote ghost kitchens, or they weren't set restaurants. Like, you couldn't actually go in and place an order with these places. You would order through DoorDash or Postmates or the like, and the food would be delivered to you. And that's how it was mostly set up. Typically, these locations were set up inside other restaurants. For example, Gay Burger picked a bunch of locations here in LA, and Beast Burger partnered with a lot of Buca de Beppos as well as other restaurants to fulfill their orders. And my understanding is that the owners of these restaurants or the restaurants themselves are taking a percentage, and then for Beast Burger, I believe the rest was going to charity, and with Gay Burger, I believe a large portion of the profits were going to the LGBT Center here in Los Angeles. So when I heard about Jonah's Kabob on Instagram and I started getting some DMs like, have you heard about this yet? I knew I was gonna go and have some kebab. This is different than Beast Burger or Gay Burger because Jonah's Kebabs is an actual physical restaurant. Currently, there is no delivery, and I believe they are currently not on any delivery apps, but they are a physical restaurant that you can walk in, sit down in, or take out from, which just isn't the standard right now with YouTuber restaurants. Jonah, as in Jonah from the Vlog Squad, whose real name is Nick Antonyan. He goes by Jonah after David Dobrik, I believe, started calling him Jonah because he resembles Jonah Hill, according to David. And so he just started going by Jonah. So the fact that it's stuck to the point that he named his restaurant Jonah's Kabob, I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. I mean, I guess it's nice that he's embracing it. I mean, it's just a nickname. I mean, I don't think it's much different than, you know, like Beast Burger, because Jimmy's real name isn't Beast. It's not Mr. Beast, it's not his real name, but also he chose that name. So like, I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, Jonah posted this very sweet message on, I believe, Instagram to announce the start of Jonah's Kabob. Jonah posted, "My dad has been the biggest supporter of my comedy ever since I was a kid. Growing up, we didn't have much. My parents immigrated to the United States in their early 20s and had my sister and I a couple years later. They struggled to make ends meet, but when our family was going through our toughest times, my parents always brought us together with cooking and food. Going through this struggle together, I vowed to do something for my family. I made sure to try my best, set a few goals, and patiently work towards them. I'm happy to announce the grand opening of Jonah's Kabob tomorrow, Saturday the 15th at 11 a.m. And then here's the location. And again, this is the restaurant in North Hollywood. I went to this physical restaurant. I sat in the physical restaurant. I talked to Jonah in the physical restaurant. I ate in the physical restaurant. Let me talk about my experience. I filmed while I was there, but I didn't talk much because I was trying not to be a dick, because pandemic or not, I still don't like talking when I'm by myself. I don't know how people do this, where they go to restaurants and film themselves talking to their phone and eating. I can't do that still. I don't know how you guys do it. I'm not gonna be a mukbang channel anytime soon, that's for sure. But the Jonah's Kabob location is in North Hollywood, and they said they opened at 11, and they previously opened at 11. I should mention, I went the second day they were open. The first day they were open, I found out kind of later in the day that it even existed, and when I was searching through social media trying to figure out locations and all of that, I saw how big the crowd was, and I was like, I'm not gonna fight it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm gonna see how this goes. So I tried to go for opening the next day. I ended up getting there around 11:20, 11:30, and I walked in, door was open, and Jonah let me know that like, hey, we're gonna be ready to open in like 15, 20 minutes. So I was like, okay, no problem. He was like, I can take your order. And I was like, no, it's fine, I'll wait. And I went outside and I waited. Not a big deal. I expect any new restaurant, especially during a pandemic, but especially one that's starting out during a pandemic, you know, to have some wait times, kind of be figuring things out. I'm not religious, but like I pray for anyone who is trying to start a restaurant ever, but also trying to start a restaurant in a pandemic. Good luck, man. You know? So I was waiting outside, and at one point, Jonah came out and said, I can take your order. And so I went inside and ordered. I got the number 1 and number 2, which was the chicken kebab combo and the beef kebab combo. And basically what it is it's a wrap that has tomato, cilantro, fries, and then the kebab of choice inside there, as well as Jonah's special sauce as well in there. And then you also get fries with it, and then cabbage salad, which, side note, I never thought that I would enjoy cabbage salad. I never thought I would enjoy it. It was actually surprisingly good. I got 2 sides of it because I got 2 full orders because I wanted to review a couple of different things like I usually do. And I ate both of my servings of cabbage salad. It was surprisingly good. I don't know what they put in it. But I also got a soda, so my total came to, where's my ticket? Here's my receipts. I was order number 1 because that was the start of the day. They took my order at 12:01. I got the, like I said, Jonah's beef kebab wrap combo and Jonah's chicken kebab wrap combo. And then I also got a bottled drink for $2.85. I got a soda. And so my total came, after I did tip and everything, came to $37.28. Side note, what I like about this is at the very bottom it says, if you are reading this, buy more kebab on the receipt, which I thought was funny. I always like when restaurants do that. I think that's fun, you know? So as I was waiting for my food, 2 more people came in, and they were very clearly fans, like very excited to see Jonah. They said they weren't sure if he was gonna be there today because he had been there the following day. And again, Jonah was working the restaurant. He was taking orders. He was doing everything. He was setting up the TV. He was very involved in everything. It's not like he was just sitting around waiting and talking to people or anything like that. But yeah, he was like, no, I'm planning on being here for at least the next couple of months, trying to get everything sorted and get everything going, because I'm like really excited to get this up and running. He asked me, how did I hear about you guys? Because he asked them as well. And I said, oh, I heard about it from you. And then also, like, I let him know, like, I review a lot of YouTuber products and YouTube related restaurants. So I reviewed Beast Burger, Gay Burger, and a lot of people wanted me to talk about you. Only like 2 of you reached out to me about this, but still. But he was very open about talking with me with the restaurant. And though I took some video clips inside the place, I did not, you know, film our conversation because it was just awkward. Like, hi, here's my phone. You know, I still can't do that fully, especially when technically he's working at that time because he's still a service worker in that moment. And I don't want to like impede upon service workers. Again, weird dichotomy here because it's like dichotomy is not even the word. Yes, he's a content creator, social media personality, influencer, whatever, but also like in that moment he's working, you know, like he's a service industry worker, you know? So it's like, I don't know. Would you rather me film it? Would you rather me not film it? Because I don't want to like impede upon your job. Like that's my weird brain doing that thing. Let me know what you think actually. Like, how do you feel about the mix between personalities versus employee? But like he runs the place. So I mean, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Anyway, he was very open with talking with me about the business and why he wanted to do it. And he was like, yeah, no, we could have opened honestly probably earlier, but I was so determined to make sure the food was perfect before we opened. I really want this to like kind of surpass me and have people find out about it outside of social media and, you know, just kind of have it build on its own. Sorry, there is a fire truck driving past my apartment. Okay, I think it's gone. And he was just very clearly passionate about the restaurant and very passionate about making it good. He joked about how they want to surpass In-N-Out, which is like the big burger place here in California, essentially. And he was like, all excited about that. But he was just very clearly passionate about the restaurant and the food and very excited for us to all try it and excited for us to tell more people about it. At the end of the day, I don't know Jonah personally, but I always think it's nice when you're talking with someone and you can clearly see how passionate they are about something. Especially, I think that's something that's, I don't want to say rare to see in social media people, but I think a lot of actions from social media people are often clearly just for money. Like, I think you can kind of see like when their heart is in something versus when it's like, okay, I'm doing this because my manager or someone told me to and I need to, you know, profit off of this while I can. Does that make sense? So for him to be like very excited about the restaurant, I think that's great. While I was waiting for my food still, it took me about like 20 minutes to get my food, which he had let me know when I walked in that like they were still firing up the grill and everything. So I wasn't expecting it to be super speedy, especially during the pandemic. I know a lot of people aren't like having a lot of food ready to go. I don't expect to have like a pile of food in most restaurants ready to go because no one knows what the normal is right now still. But I was looking around, taking some videos of the restaurant itself. They have a lot of murals inside. Personally, while I was there, I don't think there were any other YouTubers there or anyone there. I wasn't exactly expecting them to be there, you know? There was a bunch the day before. I wasn't expecting them that day. I was there to review the food and the experience of Jonah's Kebabs. I was not there to meet YouTubers. However, the murals did definitely depict the vlog squad quite a bit. There was Jonah and his family. You could see David with his flamethrower, Jason with a bunch of bees. I believe there was Jeff. There was a lot of people in and out on the murals that I thought was actually kind of a nice touch. But again, it's like my whole thing with the vlog squad and like anyone associated with the vlog squad, regardless of your opinions of David, I think it's a smart idea to build things outside of the group that you were part of, just because. Be able to stand on your own. And I don't know if reminding everyone constantly that you're like a part of this group, even if like you're naming your restaurant Jonah's Kabob. I don't know. That's like a personal thing where I'm like, I don't know how smart this is. Just me. But I don't know. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, most of the people that are going to be coming in at the start are going to be fans of Jonah or fans of the vlogs. I mean, it's like a photo opportunity, I guess you could say. I mean, your choice. Personally, I think distancing yourself and your ventures, or at least not trying to tie all of your ventures back to the group you are a part of, probably smart. Let's talk about the food of Jonah's Kebab.
Food? No onions. Do you want anything to drink?
Okay, I'm gonna have a talk with my friends because why did no one ever tell me that I look like I'm plotting crimes when I'm eating food? I got, like I said, the chicken and the beef combos, and I tried both, and then I ate the cabbage salad. Personally, between the two, I preferred the beef. I thought it was better. However, I will say this, both had a lot of good flavor, and that's something that I've complained about in a lot of other videos. Obviously, kebab and burgers are completely different things. However, infinitely more flavor in these ones. And also, I will say this, the fries, salted, you know, properly salted fries from Jonah's Kebab. When I'm being served also burger places and like your food's not salted whatsoever. I don't know what it is with these restaurants not salting food, but like, I'll say this, the food was flavorful at Jonah's Kebab, okay? So good. Also, Jonah's secret sauce, stupid good. Like annoyingly good. Like I got extra sides of it, very good. And when I was waiting there, a couple of guys came in and were talking with Jonah about how they'd come the day before and all that, and they were talking about the sauce and like, dude, you should be bottling it. I agree. Here's my thought with Jonah's Kebab, and here's what I think Jonah needs to be doing. Because personally, I think at the end of the day, something that I don't know about Gay Burger particularly, but I know with Beast Burger, this is one of the ways that they managed to profit still off of the Beast Burger, even though a lot of it was going to charity and a lot of it was going back to the restaurants. This is one of the things that they were doing. And this is how Mr. Beast talks about he makes a lot of his money from merch. They were also selling Beast Burger merch. I think that social media related, Jonah, you need to be selling Jonah's Kebab merch. I think you need to be doing that. And if you want to be competing with In-N-Out, In-N-Out sells their own merch as well. Not a lot of people buy it, but it's there. And also, since you have a lot of fans, people would probably want to buy your merch to represent your business. Or maybe you could do something where it's like, oh, if you buy this merch, you get 10% off your order, or you get a free drink or something. I don't know if that's something that they can even do at this time, but always an idea. Also, back on my previous point, yes, bottling Jonah's secret sauce, absolutely need to be doing that. I think that's a smart idea. Kind of goes into the merch thing, but also it's like just kind of adding to your branding, essentially. You're trying to build a restaurant, build a business, especially again, if you're competing with In-N-Out, like you said, you want to build a brand, even if you're only trying to keep this one location or multiple locations. Building a brand with the secret sauce, good idea. For the most part though, the food was good. Like I said, the beef wrap much better personally, and they were willing to take out anything that you wanted from the wrap. I chose to just have them made as they were listed on the menu just to try it out, and I'll insert that footage of me eating it here. Again, I'm eating in silence in probably the most awkward way possible, as I'm propping my phone up against my soda to film myself as I'm trying to be quiet. Oh God, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with post-pandemic eating and filming in public. Do I have to film? Maybe no more restaurants being opened up for YouTubers. Can we do that? No more. I'm weird about filming in person, by myself specifically. And that's really all I have to say about Jonah's Kebab. This is a physical location in North Hollywood. I will put the address up here. If you would like to go and try it for yourself and comment down below what you thought, absolutely go and check it out. The food, I think, was fairly reasonable, and you get a good amount of food. I sent photos to my dad when I told him I was going to get kebab, and he's like, where is it? So I'm probably gonna end up having to take my dad to Jonah's Kabob at some point, because again, it's just in North Hollywood. I'm in LA, so you know, it's not terrible for me to go drive out there. Something again, which I guess you could say was kind of to be expected, because again, Jonah's Kabob, David called Jonah Jonah after Jonah Hill. You're putting the Vlog Squad kind of muraled, physically built into the building. A lot of people were asking, hey, where's David? Some people were saying that David was there opening day. I personally didn't see photos of that. That's just me. Again, I wasn't there. However, something that I thought was interesting, which is so dumb, Jeff posted on his Instagram story, like, congratulating Jonah about Jonah's Kabob. You may have betrayed me, and we may not see eye to eye at the moment, but I always love and support your family. What? Maybe this is just me. I would be like, I'm sorry, bro, what? As far as I can see, Jonah hasn't replied to that, but like, that's just a little odd. It's a little weird to me. Jeff, I don't know what the goal was there. No idea what that's about personally. Like I said, people were asking about David and all of that, like, oh, is David gonna be here? Is David here? Again, I wouldn't try and bring him in, even without the whole everything unfolding with David right now. I wouldn't bring him in as like a drawn-in point. Again, if you're trying to make this stand on your own, I wouldn't. Just my opinion. From a business perspective, I guess you don't want to kind of build off of him at this point, especially if you're trying to make a standalone restaurant, just me. However, some people were asking about David's restaurant, because I had heard about that too. I heard on their podcast before everything unfolded that David was trying to start up a restaurant with his buddy Ilya, and they were trying to make a pizza place here in LA called Dough Bricks. Like dough bricks. And they were partnering with a pizza place, and they apparently had just signed the lease on a place out here that they were like, it's the perfect location. And then everything fell apart. I can't imagine, well, I don't know. See, he stepped down from Dispo because of everything, because investors were pulling out. And so I can't imagine him getting into already a shaky venture, like opening a restaurant during all of this as well. I don't know if Dough Bricks is ever gonna open up. If it does, I will try it so you don't have to. But that's gonna be it for this video. Have you heard about Jonah's Kebabs? Have you tried Jonah's Kebabs? What have you thought about Jonah's Kebabs? Will you be going to Jonah's Kebabs in North Hollywood? Do you like kebab in general? Were you someone on Instagram who, when I talked about getting kebab, you got mad at me about my spelling of kebab, even though I was just spelling it the way that it's on the poster and everything? Let me know. Comment down below. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, that will also be listed down below. If you'd like to follow me on my social media, that'll be all up here. If you'd like to pick up your own Swell Entertainment merch, that will, as always, be available down below. And that's gonna be it. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. No, but seriously, Jonah, if you do figure out how to sell the secret sauce, I will buy a bottle of the secret sauce, because it was really good.
Thank you, Allie, Alan, Alex, Braden, Cameron, Christopher, Chris, Cody, Colton, Crash PC, Destiny, Devin, Dirty One, Dawn, Elliot, S and M, Beckles, Hopeless Holla, Jacka Ray, Joe, John M, Jordan, Joseph, Kenny, Kevin, Kim, Kristen, Lex, Lisa, Louise, Manga, Matt, Matt O, Matthew S, Meme Lord the Red, Michael, Micah J, Nathaniel, Pat, Palak, Rob, Robbie, Robert Ross, Sam, Simon, Steph, Natasha, Timothy, Tom, Wendy, Williams, Under.